Here we go, live on Facebook. Just let me get my.
Yes, I think it's late.
Okay, I'm live. Love you. Hey, everybody. Okay, here I am typing. Find your people. Go. Where's the thing? Share on my page. Go live. Okay, there you go. Hi, everybody. How's it going? What's happening? How's your life? What's going on? Hi, everybody. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Hi, Veronica. Great to have you here. Let me pin myself. Charlotte, Christian, Claire, what's up? Deborah, Isabella, Renee, Rusi. Hi, how are you? Susan, great to see you all. Let's start with our breathing. We got to start with our breathing. There's not enough breathing going on. This is a moment to shake off whatever's happened so far today. Bring yourself into this present moment because this is not like the rest of your day. This is a whole different thing. We're going to put ourselves into a whole different mental space. We're going to nourish ourselves from the inside out so that the rest of the day can roll out like grease lightning, right? Or like a cozy down comforter, whatever you're into. So drop your shoulders down and back, lift your face up, soften your hands, soften your heart. Think about someone you love, someone you want to bless. Call them to mind. You ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just bask in that for a minute. Yeah, just let that roll over you. Allow yourself to be different, to feel different. And remember that you have that power. You can change your mood. Not always and not all the way, but a lot of the times and a lot of the way, right? Good. Well, this is super fun because we've been doing our 5-day challenge. Some of you are in that, and it has been amazing. And if you want to jump into that, it's not too late. You can get the recordings from the last couple of days, and we still have 2 or 3 days left because I'm doing a bonus training on Saturday of how to find $500 a month, no matter what. So Isabel says, just got a hit of bliss. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? A hit of bliss. Divine. Good morning, Lori. Great to see you. Hi, and Joe. Just what I needed, she says. Yeah, exactly. So we were talking today on the 5-day challenge about relationships and people and how everything in your life comes to you through other people, right? You know, we want love. Love does not come from other people, but it comes through other people, right? And this is why we don't need to worry if people we love go away, at whatever level they go away, because all the love is still available. It's just not coming through that particular person in this particular moment, but the love is still there, right? All the money comes through other people. All the opportunities come through other people. There's an infinite amount of love and money and opportunities out there, but they come through other people. And we can't necessarily self-generate it, right? So you need to be connected with other people. And like I said, we talked about a certain amount. We talked about it in one context on the 5-day challenge. Oh, you know what you really want to do? Here's what you really want to do. You want to join the lab. We're starting another Get It Done lab, which is a 90-day productivity sprint. And it's not even necessarily productivity. It can be inspirational. It can be a 90-day relaxation sprint. It can be a 90-day inspiration sprint. It can be a 90-day rest sprint. If you go to therealsambennett.com/lab, LAB, and you'll see you get a ton of bonuses. We're going to mail you a hard copy of the Get It Done book. You're going to get immediate access to the Get It Done workshop. And then you'll be in the Get It Done lab. So you'll have the text, the workshop, and the practicum for Get It Done. They all work together. I think you get how to make $1,000 anytime you want. You get 21 days to get out of your own way. And we will, if you join today or tomorrow, we'll also put you into the 5-day lab. So you'll get those trainings as well, which is a great they're little half-hour jump starts. And we've been getting incredible results just from those little trainings. So, yeah, go to therealsambennett.com/lab, LAB, and you'll get the 5-day challenge. You can join us live tomorrow and Saturday, and then we start next Saturday with the lab. If you have any questions about that, please ask them in the chat, and I can answer them. Veronica can answer them as best we can. And it's 50% off right now. It's a $1,000 program, but you can get it for $500, which is even less than $498.7 or something. It's a great deal. We were talking about, having relationships. The people in my mastermind have been yelling at me, literally yelling at me, because they're like, you cannot charge $500 for this. Like, it's a $3,000 program. You've got to charge more. And I'm like, I want to keep it at $500 because I want it to be, enough money that you notice it, but not so much as to break the bank. So, I might offer something more expensive soon, but for right now, I'm down with the $500. Okay, so let's talk about the people in your life. Who are the people in your neighborhood? You need to go where you're celebrated. Don't stay where you're tolerated. Go where you're celebrated. And it was always one of the things that was hard for me about having a day job, even though I had some great day jobs and with really lovely people doing pretty interesting work. I still felt like these people don't know who I am. They don't care who I am. They just want me there to show up and do the thing and then leave. And I wanted deeper relationships than that. I didn't like spending 8 hours a day with people who didn't really know me and didn't really care. But luckily I had my theater company, and I had my spiritual community, and I had my family of friends, and I had my Second City family, and I had a lot of other groups that saw me and knew me and looked out for me, cared for me. So it's not that you're going to be celebrated in every possible corner of your life, although if you can, that's amazing. But find the places where you can. And if you're feeling an absence of that, if you're feeling like, I feel a little taken for granted here, or I feel a little unseen, stretch yourself to find a community where you can be celebrated. And where you're not necessarily the smartest person in the room, right? Play tennis with better tennis players. I'm thinking about my nephew who's 13, and he's about a couple years ago, he started taking improv classes and acting classes. And when I ask him about how it's going, he always says, he goes, I just like being with my friends in the theater department, just like being with my friends. I'm like, theater saves lives, theater saves lives, theater teachers save lives. Because that was certainly true for me. Like I was not popular in school. I didn't have a lot of school friends. But man, theater, those were my people. I felt safe. I felt seen. I felt like I was good at it. It absolutely saved my life. So if you are noticing that you are being tolerated and not celebrated, make a change. Make an adjustment if you can. In a similar rule for a happy life, quit going to the empty cookie jar. Quit asking for support from people who do not know how to support you. My sister and I used to have a joke, and Mom, if you're on here, my apologies, but we used to have a joke that we should have a sign over the phone that says, "Don't call Mother for comfort." Because my mother is a wonderful person, but she is not and has never been like, "Oh, wooga wooga, poor baby." Like, you have a problem. She's like, "Okay, so how are you going to fix it? What are you going to do?" Like, could I have a wooga wooga, poor baby? No. Going. So if I want a wooga wooga, poor baby, I have to call somebody else. I have to call somebody else who's more like that. And then when I want to, get cracking energy, then I call my mother, right? So stop expecting people to be different than the person that they are, right? Some people, love you and don't know how to say it. That's okay. Just quit being mad at them because they don't say it. They're not gonna. It's not who they are, right? It's not fair to be mad at people when they're just being the person that they are and always have been. And they're just making the choices for their life to live it the way they want to live it, same way you're making choices for your life the way you want to live it, right? So stop trying to expect other people to be different than they are and always have been. And if you need something different, find the people who'll give it to you. Find the therapist, find the coach, find the mentor, find the teacher, find the BFF, find the community, find the dog, find the cat, find the entity that will support you in the way that you want to be supported, right? Because otherwise you're just frustrating, yourself and them probably, right? Lori says, I find ways to be in things that my 91-year-old friend and inspiration is leading. Yes, good. Julie Simpson's here. It's the all Sam all the time day. Yes. You guys are coming over for dinner, right? Okay, good. Yeah, so quit expecting people to be different than the person that they are. And quit wanting them to, and quit expecting them to give you the support that they're not capable of giving, right? It's not their fault. They just aren't that person. Number 3, I wrote down 5 of these. Number 3 is have at least one friend who knows how to be genuinely happy for you when something wonderful happens, no matter what. And I think, and be cautious of the people who don't know how to be happy for you, no matter what. I remember on the day of my wedding to my second husband, I love all my husbands. You guys know this. And boy, it was a great wedding and a great day. And we did it at Little Brown Church in the San Fernando Valley, which is it looks like a little log cabin, and it's my church and my church community, and it's really sweet. And by the way, for those of you who live in the San Fernando Valley, that church is the only one I know of in LA that is open 24/7, so you can always go in there and pray, or have some quiet time, or whatever you need to do. It used to be that all churches were open all the time, but now I think, as far as I know, only Little Brown Church is open. So there we are at this adorable church. We've just had this wonderful ceremony and everybody's super happy. And one of my friends, I'm sure she thought she was being funny, but she comes to shake hands with Steve and I and says, "Well, nice for some people." Really? We're here at the wedding and you can't be happy for us? You can't get off of your own thing enough to. But again, I shouldn't have been surprised, because that's who she always is. She's always that person, right? Much better to have the people who can say, "I'm so happy for you," and not make it about them, not make it about what they want, but again, just be super celebratory. And it's a big thing for entrepreneurs to learn, because not everyone knows how to be happy for you when you have your first $100,000 weekend, or you make your big first corporate sale, or you whatever, publish your first book. Some people don't know how to be happy for you about that. And that's okay, but you need to have people who will be happy for you, right? So cultivate that person, find that person who's good at fun, who's good at celebrating, who's good at reminding you how amazing you are, because you're amazing. You are so amazing, right? So be sure to have that person in your life. I'm just checking out the chat here. Julie says, I've noticed so often I get frustrated and hurt that other people don't offer what would have come so easily to me, and have come to realize it's not that they won't, it's that they can't. They don't know how. That creates a lot of relief for me. Yes, the number one thing you can do for your own happiness and well-being is to stop expecting other people to behave the way you would behave. They're not you. They don't have your skills. They don't have your insights. They're not sensitive in the way that you are. They're doing it their way, and they're right. They get to be right in the same way that you get to be right. But expecting other people to share your values or behave the way you would behave or respond the way you would respond is an express elevator to hell. 100% express elevator to hell. So yeah, you're right. Knock it off. Knock it off and appreciate the gesture that they are making, you know, that people behave in the way that they can, right? Isabella says, I think I need to learn that same one too. I've often felt unreciprocated in relationships. Yeah. Yeah. And that's, you know, oh gosh, I remember having a talk about this with my friend Margaret, who's one of my, it's been one of my best friends since college. And she said, you know, she's, you know, like when you're in a relationship with somebody and you want them to be different, you know, like, honey, I would really appreciate it if you would, you know, bring me coffee in bed every morning, or you would be more physically responsive, or you would do this or do that. She's like, you know, if they're a good person, they'll probably try, but generally people are doing what it is they're going to do. And if that's not working for you, then you should probably just get out, because they're not going to change. They might attempt to change in the same way that you would attempt to change for them, but they're not, they're already doing what it is they're going to do. So if that's not okay with you, then, you know, move on. It's okay to be like, I love you and I'm moving on, right? Because you don't want to feel like you're in an unreciprocated relationship. I've also realized I have some friends who are, you know, whatever they are, they're 7s on the Enneagram, they're whatever. And they're the kinds of people who are like, they're amazing when they're right in front of you. Like when they are right in front of you, they're like your best friends forever and ever. And you think, oh my God, this is amazing. This person's so amazing. And then they go off and they disappear for years at a time, months, weeks, years. And you don't hear from them, and you think like, oh my God, we had that great connection. And yet now they're just like, they won't return my calls. They won't return my texts. They've totally ghosted me. What's going on? It's not you. They're just like that. They're just on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Right. So, you know, for those friends of mine that are like that, I'm grateful when I get into their sight line and I get to get their love and enthusiasm, and then they go and I'm like, okay, you know, because I am loyal to the point of self-neglect. I am loyal and have the footprints on my back to prove it. Right. So, but I don't expect other people to share my occasionally self-destructive loyalty. Right. So, yeah, good self-insights there, people. Good. Let's see. So it says, and ironically and equally powerful that when people are upset with me, that they assume I won't, or when I can't, or don't know how to do whatever it is they're wanting from me. Exactly. Exactly. Deborah says we have to meet people where they are. Exactly. That's the only way to have a conversation with them. Claire says, I am a 7. That is me. Yeah, I know. It's okay. And as a 4, the first thing I'm going to do is notice what's missing. The first thing I'm going to do is feel neglected. The first thing I'm going to do is feel like, oh, you know, sorry for myself. Julie says, yes, it's the mystery of the 7. So foreign to me. Probably says squirrels. Yeah. But sometimes I am a sensitive 4. Yeah, probably both. Isabella says, I don't want to be someone's next thing. Yeah. Yeah. Leah says, I hear you on the lopsided loyalty. It is what it is. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So don't stay where you're tolerated. Go where you're celebrated. Quit going to the empty cookie jar. Have at least one friend who knows how to be genuinely happy for you when something wonderful happens. You have someone to call. 4, stay close to the people who inspire you in whatever way that is. You know, social media is great for that kind of thing. Loving people from afar, is great. You know, sending people good thoughts. But really, reach out. It's funny, I was doing a sort of a high-end program earlier this year, and it was just by invitation only. I didn't put it out into email or anything. I just called people, and some people I had not talked to for literally 20 years. And it was great. It was so great to connect with them and remember like why I had admired them and sort of stayed in, at least in passing touch with them all these years. And it made me feel great about my life. I was like, wow, I know a lot of really amazing, amazing people. It was really delightful. So yeah, stay close to the people who inspire you. And Joe says, goes both ways. I used to try so hard to be what others needed me to be. No more, right? What you see, what you get. 100%. Good. That's integrity, right? When you're the same all the time, obviously we adjust slightly for circumstance, but when the person you are making jokes at the bar is pretty much the same person that's sitting on pew at church the next morning, is pretty much the same person in the office the next day, that's integrity, right? Integer, whole number, being the same all the way through. And my last bit of advice for having a happy life, because everything comes through other people, is find a mentor or a teacher and follow them closely. And for some of you, that's already me or somebody else, which is amazing. But it certainly doesn't have to be me. I have my own mentors and coaches that I pay God's own money to and would double it. It is so worth it to me to have someone who is smarter than I am, who has done what it is I want to do, who sees me where I am, will challenge me on my occasionally crappy thinking or self-imposed limitations. So when you're looking for a mentor or a teacher, make sure it's somebody that you love, you like them, you like being around them, you respect them, and you feel like they like and respect you, and that they've done what you want to do. There are some book coaches out there who've never published a book. There are, like I said, people who are teaching you how to have a six-figure business when they don't have a six-figure business, or they're teaching what they're teaching, but they're not living what they're teaching, right? They're not in integrity, right? They're teaching loving kindness, but then they turn around and treat their team like shit. Don't follow those people. Lori says, I love your wisdom. Thank you again and again. Oh, Lori, big kiss. Yeah, so find, you need these people. You need these people in position in your life. We were talking in the 5-day challenge about having that truth teller friend, right? You need that one, no bullshit, the friend who will tell you that shirt is ugly, throw it away. The one who will say that person is bad for you, get out, right? And it's not always easy to be. I have lost friends by being the truth teller friend. I have a friend who we all got together as a group to meet her fiance, and we did not like him. I did not like him. And when we said, we don't think this person is good for you, she said, I don't think we can be friends anymore because I'm going to marry him. And we were like, okay, fair. And it's sad because I still miss her. But she didn't want me in her life if I couldn't support her marriage. And I totally respect that. So I sent her little love beams from afar. And as far as I know, the marriage worked out great. So what do I know, right? Paula says, how do you find a mentor? I struggle with finding folks on my wavelength. Yeah, the great thing is that human people, travel in tribes, right? We are tribal animals. That's how we are designed to live in groups. So if you find other people who are into what you're into, there will likely be a teacher in that community that you will like to follow. So whether it's sort of life hobby based, like if you're into Baha'i, check down the local Baha'i communities. You're into yoga, you're into paint by numbers. I love paint by numbers. You're into whatever it is you're into, fossils, go seek out those groups, those meetups, those Facebook pages, those Reddit threads, those blogs, those teachers. Just keep scoping it out until you find somebody will pop up and you'll be like, ooh, they interest me. And then you'll go to their website or their page, and you'll be like, oh, they are speaking my language. And then, they should have some free thing or something little that you can sign up for, and you can kind of vibe it out. And then if they, meet your criteria, they're never going to be 100% perfect. And sometimes they will seriously disappoint you. I know I have disappointed others sometimes, and I know I have been disappointed by people who teach and mentor me. So we don't need them to be perfect people, but we need them to be good people, right? So yeah, it's a little bit what I call the sparkly breadcrumb stage, right? When you're looking for a mentor or a teacher, you just have to bring your awareness to it and start, and then follow, take a little step, see, oh, no, not them. This, oh, maybe, oh, no, maybe. Okay. And it's amazing. There are people who've been on my list for the last time we did Get It Done Lab. I went through, I do this every time. I hand write out everybody who enrolls. It's my way of sort of spiritually connecting with you, is writing out your name. And I sometimes check and see when you joined my list. There were people who had been on my list for literally 10 years, had never bought anything, and then enrolled in Get It Done Lab. I was like, okay, it wasn't the right time. And then all of a sudden it was. So you'll find them. You'll find them. Julie says, Sam, I consider you a mentor. Oh, thanks, Julie. So I was almost, but I have Sam. I don't need another. But the piece that's meaningful to me now is that I could also use a mentor who's doing more specifically what I'm doing. Right, exactly. You may want one that's sort of more professional and one that's more sort of life. Like I said, I've paid God's own money to people to coach me both spiritually and, personally. I've paid money to healers, energy healers, body work people. And I've also paid a lot of money to people who coach me in entrepreneurship and business. Other Julie says, I have a friend who told me she would be eternally grateful because I had the courage to say, this marriage is awful. You deserve better. Get out. And she did because of it. I'm really proud of that. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can be the truth-telling friend. Yeah. So lean into those relationships. In the 5-day challenge, I made everybody do a little, I counted down 5 minutes and made everybody reach out to somebody. Right? Reach out to that truth-telling friend, reach out to that cheerleader, reach out to that mentor, reach out to that great client that you love, reach out to, the peer or colleague that you admire, and, reach out to them in whatever way. You can DM them, you can retweet them, you can send them a letter, you can send them an email, call them, whatever. Call? What? I know. But yeah, so I encourage you to do that today. I also, again, really want to encourage you to join the Get It Done Lab. It's an astonishing experience of 90 days that will really shift things for you in whatever way you want them to be shifted. I mean, we call it a productivity challenge, but it can be about creating more lusciousness, more rest, more health, more sex, more art, more anything. Or just to use it as a grounding, as a grounding mechanism while you're still figuring out what it is you want to be doing, right? Lori says, yes, the lab does change and upgrade a person's life if we want it to. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Good. Any other thoughts or questions? We're just about at the bottom of the hour, and I'm so grateful for you all for showing up. I think that's amazing that you make time in your day and your week to be here. Veronica says, I like the idea of Get It Done Lab being the space to create more less, make more space for yourself. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm here to tell you, you spend 15 minutes a day on something that's meaningful to you, everything shifts. Everything. Tracy says, I forgot I purchased your Get It Done a year ago. Oops. We'll hop on into the lab. And then we can do it all together. How about that? It just wasn't the right time, Tracy. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And as I often say, sometimes it is an important step on a person's journey to buy something and not use it, or to buy a book and not read it. I've done it. It's okay. No harm, no foul. Nothing bad's happening. All right, everybody. Let's do one more breath to close out this particular circle. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being the light in the world that you are. You are so valuable to so many people love you, and they may forget to say it, and they may forget to say thank you, but you're You're wonderful. You look really great today. You ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for doing this with me. Now go sign up for lab. Go sign up. Okay. Oops, where's my button? Thanks, Veronica. Thanks, Lucy.